Jesse Geiza, I need you up to the announcer stand, please. Jesse Geiza to the announcer stand. All right, you hear the rumble. They are coming to the track now. This is going to be the Pro Mod 4x4 trucks that are going to be coming up. Going to be starting off with Terry Hagendorn. This will be the Kicking Up Dust truck. Terry Hagendorn out of Thompson, Missouri. He'll be the test puller of the class. Will be followed up by Charlie Miller on the Foxy Lady. Justin Grace, Just in Time, and Roger Gregg, Time to Play, will be the first four trucks that we have in the modified 4x4 truck, sponsored by Summit Racing. Terry Hagendorn kicking up dust, laying down a monster pass there. And this class is kind of known as the class of monster motors. Terry Hagendorn, one of the many years of points champions in this class. Between him and Jim Bosch and a bunch of other, or I shouldn't say a bunch of other guys, there's a few other guys, they have got a lot of trophies and points championships throughout. We talked about this at Mountain City, Missouri, down in the Rumble by the Refuge. But I think Terry Hagendorn on the Gunpowder and Lead or the Kicking Up Dust, I believe he has got 6 or 7 points championships. One more truck to see if they want to leave the sled setting the way it is or if they want to reset it. But again, 3:59 and 57, Terry Hagendorn kicking up dust. Now, these trucks you see coming down the track right now, they are all naturally aspirated. There is no blowers, no turbochargers, no forced air assistance into it. They have to pull all that air through the carburetors on these. Now, these are monster motors. There is no cubic inch limit in this class, so they can kind of build as big as they possibly can with what it is. They just have to have the drivetrain, have the length and everything, and the weight to be able to make it. But, again, everything is pulled through carburetors on the tops of these engines. No fuel injection, no blowers, no turbochargers, nothing to force air. But Charlie Miller, Foxy Lady. It's a great pass there for Charlie Miller, the Foxy Lady out of Creston, Iowa. We are at 363.92, 363.92. So now they'll have to make the determination of what they want to do with the sled. So that will put him unofficially in first place as of right now with the Foxy Lady. We'll see once what they want to do, but I'm leaning towards the fact that they're probably going to want to reset. Reset. All right, getting squared away with the track. Got the sled reset, getting things ready to go. This will be Justin Grace coming up for Versailles, Kentucky. This will be just in time. Still a great pass there for Justin Grace, just in time. They reset the sled, brought him back a little ways. I'm going to guess he's probably in that 330 range, somewhere in that area. But again, all these trucks are very hard-running trucks. Everybody in this class, there's not one guy that in this class cannot come down here and take a win. So, again, Justin Grace out of Versailles, Kentucky, going to set the distance here if he takes that. He is the test puller of this class, so he can go ahead and decide whether he wants to keep this or not. Tough runners, every one of these. But they did reset the sled again after the Foxy Lady. Charlie Miller and Terry Hagedorn, they will be coming back around later on in the class. But Steve Most coming up to Southern Belle, hailing out of Pocahontas, Illinois. Cody Lewis out of Macon, Missouri, on the fired up, is going to be sitting on deck. All right, again, this is going to be Steve Bose coming up. Pocahontas, Illinois. This will be the Southern Belle. Tried that west side of the track to see if there was a little bit of fresher dirt over there. Not going to get the distance I don't believe that he wanted out of that. I will get you his distance as he gets relayed up here to Melissa in the announcer stand. The 3:08 and 77. 3:08 and 77. But that'll bring up Cody Lewis out of Macon, Missouri on the fired up. He'll be the next one up. But your leader is still Justin Grace with it just in time. He is out there at 3:37 and 33. Roger Gregg out of Nokomis, Illinois. The time to play is sitting at number 2 at 3:25 and 27. And Steve Bose, the Southern Belle, is now sitting at number 3 at 3:08 and 77. Cody Lewis making on the Midnight Raider out of West Island, Michigan. And Lane Thornton coming up on Ramrod out of Gravity, Iowa. That'll be the next three trucks we got coming up in this class. And again, 3:37 and 33. That is Justin Grace. The just in time is your leader. Murray Thornton on Thumper. There for Murray Thornton on Thumper, hailing out of Bedford, Iowa. Again, your leaders out there at 3:37 and 33, 3:37.33. That is Justin Grace with a just in time. .351.04 for Murray Thornton on Thumper. He is going to take the lead. Again, 351 and 4.04. He is going to knock Justin Grace with a just in time down to the number 2 spot. He's out there at 3:37 and 32 distances. And that will be who is going to be your leaders coming up into this for tonight. So Jim Bosch right now sitting there in the lead for the weekend. He is coming to the track right now. West Alva, Michigan, Jim Bosch. This will be the Midnight Raider. And you can see that when these trucks come out, there is very little weight on the rear end of these trucks. They try to get everything locked down when that chain and the sled activate together. Probably, I would say 75 to 80% of the weight on these trucks is above or in front of the front axle. So again, Jim Bosch, West Alva, Michigan. This is the Midnight Raider. Getting into that really bad wheel hop coming all the way down the track there. He just kind of tried to fight through it, tried to throttle to it a little bit, stay in it to see once if he could not get that truck to come out of that bounce. But we will need one of their crew to come out here with a side-by-side to be able to get them pulled off the track. But again, Jim Bosch, Midnight Raider. He's going to go 290.97, 290.97 here. But this will be Lane Thornton, Gravity, Iowa. Your leaders out there at 3:51.04. That was Murray Thornton on Thumper. But this will be Ramrod. Good pass there for the Ramrod truck. Do not think he will get into the leader distance. Put out there by the Thumper. Again, the Thumper's out there at 3:51.04. 3:37 and 49. 3:37 and 49. That is going to put him in the number 2 spot, it looks like, by 0.16 of a foot. So 3:37 and 49, number 2 spot right now is with the Ramrod, Lane Thornton. Sitting there, number 3. Justin Grace just in time, just got knocked down there into the number 3 spot. Your leader is still Murray Thornton on the Thumper at 350 applications and TerraSort. Some of the great title sponsors we have here. And also want to thank all of the volunteers that have helped make this show go on. Jesse said that there is a long, long list of people that have helped make this show happen. So I want to thank them all for stepping on board and making this event possible. Again, we're going to go to Mason City, Iowa. Jamie Bush. This will be the truck they call the Wild Ride. Again, Jason, your leader out there, 350-104. That is the Thumper truck of Murray Thornton, hailing out of Bedford, Iowa. He is your current leader right now. But Jamie Bush on the Wild Ride, Mason City, Iowa. Jamie Bush on Wild Ride. Putting himself down there in contention, trying to get into that leader zone. Again, your leaders out there at 351.04. Murray Thornton. Lane Thornton is sitting there at number 2 at 337.49. Justin Grace with the just in time is sitting there at number 2 at 337.3. And backed up to the sled, get him hooked up. And again, your leaders out there at 351 and some change. The guys are kind of spotting that sled all over. They're trying to really figure out where they want to be able to put that sled to try to get them to have the best advantage as they get down farther down the track and try to get into that 350-foot range. The guys are starting to fight a little bit of tire hop that's coming off on this track here at about 75 feet. They're getting into a little bit of a hop coming down there, so they're trying to find some different dirt as they're coming down to the track to get out of that. So they are moving that cone back and forth a little bit just to see once if they can't figure out a spot to be able to get them through that area smoothly. But Jamie Bush again out of Mason City, Iowa. You saw him go down the track of the Wild Ride at 3:33 and 23. Put him in the number 4 spot. This will be his second entry into this class, but this is going to be Thunderstruck. Your leaders out there at 351.04. That is Thumper out of Murray Thornton. But Jamie Bush, Mason City, Iowa. This is Thunderstruck. We will get the distance here sent to us. I will pass it along. Good pass there. I think he got over this distance he put out there at 3:33 before. We will get the official distance, but 3:37 and 48. 3:37 and 48. We get down to fractions of feet and inches in this whole class. We have the Ramrod Lane Thornton out of Gravity, Iowa, 3:37.49. Jamie Bush, Missouri. This will be Gunpowder and Lead. Great pass there for Terry Hagendorn again on the Gunpowder and Lead. Your leader was out there at 3:51 and change. He's going to come in at 3:47 and 88. 3:47 and 88 on the Gunpowder and Lead. So that is going to move him into the number 2 spot, it looks like. 351.04, your leader is the Thumper. And sitting now at number 2, Terry Hagendorn on the Gunpowder and Lead at 3:47 and 88. Going to bring up Steve Clem out of Versailles, Kentucky on the Radical. Charlie Hines, running wild Texas style. Equipment Texas will be coming up right after him. And then Larry Gerald. And if you want to know how some of these competitors keep their vehicles looking so good, they use Lucas Oil Slick Mist. You want the easiest car care ever? Get your mitts on some Lucas Slick Mist Fast and Easy Speed Wax. Tire and trim shine and interior detailer. Better than anything on the market. Spray Speed Wax on a wet, dry surface. Wipe it off. You're done. Can you handle that? Lucas Interior Detailer rejuvenates interiors, and Lucas Tire and Trim Shine does wonders on tires and wheels. Lucas Slick Mist. It's easy and it works. Again, I want to thank all the class sponsors we had here tonight through the Champions Tour and the West Silver Series. This is going to be Steve Clem. This is Radical. There for Steve Clem on the Radical out of Versailles, Kentucky. He's going to come in at 3:45.05, 3:45.05. So he will just be behind the distance there of Terry Hagendorn. Again, 3:45.05. That is going to put him in the number 3 spot on that Radical. We're going to go to Running Wild, Texas style. Charlie Hines coming up, Equipment, Texas. Larry Gerald out of Gallipolis, Ohio on the Punisher. And then Graham Young out of Versailles, Kentucky on the Renegade. Will be the next 3 trucks we got coming up here. Again, so the ARP lightweight super stock tractors will be out in McLeod, Kansas. So if you want to see the class of the big modifieds, and I believe this same class will be in Council Bluffs. I think they are at the West Fair also. Modified 4x4s. Modified 4x4s. I'll tell you what, if you want to know whatever or where all these classes are going to be at, or where these trucks and where these classes that you see here are going to be at, go to propulling.com. Just click on the schedule. You can look that all up. Also live results. They are doing those tonight here. I think I mentioned that earlier tonight, but go to propulling.com, click on the live results tab. And again, if you want to keep streaming too, or keep watching the live stream on different events, different areas that they are, go to propulling.tv and be able to subscribe to that, and you can get the events that are coming up here in the future with the Pro Pulling Network. And then the Pro Pulling League, again, at propulling.com will get you the schedule that is coming up here in the future for events that are going to be held in this area and all across the nation. So just to give you an idea of where we're going to be at in the future, we'll have some Western Series classes that'll be at West Fair in Council Bluffs, Iowa. We'll also be down in Springfield, Nebraska at their fair down there. And then we'll also be down in McLeod, Kansas at the Kansas Summer Nationals later on this summer. But this is going to be Charlie Hines out of Equipment, Texas. This is Running Wild, Texas style. Great pass for Charlie Hines. And if you want to know kind of how we're sitting here, okay, just say that sled is 40-some feet, but there is mud that is getting thrown and dirt getting thrown back here 50 feet or more from them rear tires on there, and it is coming off at a very high rate of speed. So these guys are getting the bite on the track, and when they get spun out, they are still digging up some dirt there. So 340.18 will put him in the number 4 spot for the Running Wild Texas style. I do want to thank the track crew that's been here throughout this weekend. They have done an excellent job of getting this track laid back in. It made it a very competitive track both nights. They had a tough job yesterday with the track being as wet as it was. They did a great job. And then they worked their tails off today to get the track into what you're seeing here tonight. They did a great job of getting this track laid in and to be able to make a very, very competitive, very even track. And the nice thing about it, what I'm seeing out here is I'm not seeing any holes from guys that are digging down or doing any of that stuff and creating a lot of mess for these guys to have to drive around. So doing a great job of getting everything laid back in to make every track, or to make the track competitive for every single pass we got going down. But this is going to be Larry Gerald, Gallipolis, Ohio. This is the Punisher. Good pass there for the Punisher. Got into a little bit of a hop here whenever that box topped out. We're going to go 328 and 30. 328 and 30. So that is going to bring up Graham Young out of Osceola, Kentucky on the Renegade. And then it'll be followed up by Terry Hagedorn on the Kicking Up Dust out of Thompson, Missouri. And then Charlie Miller on the Foxy Lady. And then Cody Lewis on Fired Up will be the last hook of this class. So we got 4 trucks left to go out of this tough class of 17. What a change from what it was last night to tonight. Tonight we're kind of grabbing coats and doing all that stuff. Last night we were like sweating up here yet at this time of the night. Humidity levels are way higher. And, beautiful night for truck and tractor pulling again. Great for the fans to be here, to be able to sit in the stands and watch this event here at Junction Showdown. But again, Graham Young on the Renegade. He was finished number 3 last night with 3:12.81 last night. Your leaders out there at 3:51.04. Graham Young, this is the Renegade. He is shooting for the win here tonight. Do not know if he got up to the 3:51. That was put out there by the Thumper truck. We will see once Horty finishes up at 3:44.50. 3:44.50. I told him what he basically had down there is he lost all his electronics or electric, basically in it, a bad MSD box. So he had to replace that MSD box when he was down there at the starting line. So they got that swapped out. The MSD box, if you kind of understand mechanics and if you're kind of into this with that, creates a spark to be able to go in for the ignition system. So the MSD box goes away, you lose all spark. So this is Cody Lewis on Fired Up. What a pass there for Cody Lewis on Fired Up. I don't know who was more fired up, him or the crew member that was down here that was bumping his arms and fists and everything else because he had a great run. again, and this is going to be Terry Hagendorn, Thompson, Missouri. Your new leader's out there at 3:56.09. That was Cody Lewis on the fired up. Just laid down a great pass. But Terry Hagendorn kicking up dust. Good pass there for the kicking of dust, Terry Hagendorn. He will be in the hunt. He's at 3:56.09 is the leader. That's Cody Lewis on fired up. Will get his distance. That was a kicking of dust, Terry Hagendorn. 358.48, 358.48. You have a new leader. Terry Hagendorn kicking up dust, 358.48 to take the lead. We have got one truck left to go through to Charlie Miller on the Foxy Lady. This is Foxy Lady. Great pass there for Charlie Miller on the Foxy Lady. Your leader was 3:58.48. That was Terry Hagendorn on the kicking up dust. It is going to be close. Again, Terry Hagendorn kicking up dust is in there at 3:58.48. Little dramatic pause here. Going to go 3:57.09. 3:57.09. Going to put himself into the number 2 spot, but just end up short of Terry Hagendorn on the kicking up dust, who takes the win here tonight at 3:58.48. I'll give you a rundown of the class here. Class finishing in the top 5 spots. But the winner of the weekend is going to go to Gunpowder and Lead. Terry Hagendorn, he's going to take the win here for the combined distance. And Cody Lewis on fired up is going to come in at number 2 spot. And the Renegade truck is going to come in at number 3. There is 5 feet that separate first and second, and there is 7 feet that separated first and third. So really, really close battle between these guys here tonight. So the Gunpowder and Lead, again, he is going to take the weekend series win out of here. Fired up, Cody Lewis is going to take the number 2 spot. And Graham Young on the Renegade is going to take home the number 3 spot trophy for the weekend. But I will go down and interview Terry Hagendorn, the kicking up dust. But he is going to take the win here on the Junction Town Showdown, Osceola, Iowa, here on June 29th. And also, this was the Summer Racing Modified 4x4 trucks. But give me a few minutes and we will get down there and get the interview going here with Terry Hagendorn on the kicking up dust.